Hi everyone, Leonard Ulrich here with a very quick update from 2 days ago. On Monday morning, early in the morning, I released a video entitled Silver, Breakout, and Breakdown? I started the video out with a copy of the screenshot of the legal briefing for both the defendant and the plaintiff involved in proving that Deutsche Bank as well as other banks were found guilty in rigging the price of precious metals. So this is no longer a conspiracy theory, but it is a conspiracy fact. Now I'll bring your attention to the bottom paragraph right here. Deutsche Bank has also agreed to provide cooperation to plaintiffs, including the production of instant messages and other electronic communications as part of the settlement. I gave you a brief recap of the history of the price of silver. I said very briefly that I think the bottom for the price of silver is in. And I said a significant development would occur this week in the gold and silver world with the opening of the Shanghai Gold and Silver Exchange. What makes the SGE different from all the other exchanges? Well, quite simply, they only deal in physical metal. They do not deal in electronic gold or paper gold. It's show me the metal. So with that in mind, I also said the bank bail-ins are back and they are spreading not just from Cyprus but also to Austria. And I also said that bail-in legislation was in place in all G20 nations so that when, and not if, when the next financial crisis occurs, that your accounts, starting with your pension funds, will be tapped. But don't believe me, listen to Stanley Fischer tell you that.
The United States is preparing a proposal to require systemically important banks to issue bail-inable long-term debt that will enable insolvent banks to recapitalize themselves.
There you have it. I told you that this was going to happen. It is just a matter of time before your bank account gets tapped. Now, since that lawsuit where Deutsche Bank agreed that it was guilty in manipulating the price of gold and silver, a whole bunch of billion-dollar class action lawsuits have been lining up. So now that Deutsche Bank has admitted to rigging the price of gold and silver, the lawsuits will continue to fly, and I will be personally contacting these law firms to see whether or not I can participate in this class action lawsuit. No, I'm not hoping to get rich. I am hoping to add to the pressure on these big banks to leave the price of gold and silver alone. Why? Well, otherwise, you will get this. This is a $5 smash in the price of silver in 30 minutes on conveniently May 1st, 2011, May 1st being the anniversary of the Illuminati. I'm sure that's just a coincidence. And May 1st, 2011 being the alleged day where we got Osama bin Laden before throwing his body into the ocean without a single photograph or piece of video. Yes, it's all just a coincidence. Now that the lawsuits are flying because this conspiracy theory has been proven, let the fun begin. Now, I didn't anticipate this next move. China launches yuan gold fix to boost power in global bullion market. Look out. This is China's 1-2 punch against the US dollar and for gold and silver. I had no idea that in addition to the Shanghai Gold and Silver Exchange opening up, that China would launch a gold fix priced in Chinese yuan, not the US dollar, not the pound sterling, okay? Chinese yuan. And you can see, you can connect the dots that very soon, if you want the real metal as opposed to paper gold or electronic silver, China will be glad to sell it to you, and the price of real metal will quickly diverge from the price of the artificial metal, which can so easily be manipulated. So, now that China is dealing a 1-2 punch against the US dollar and in the gold and silver world, what do you think happened to the price of silver this day? Boom! That's a nice growth curve. I love it. So, it looks as though that silver has bottomed. I can see nothing but pressure to the upside. No, this doesn't mean that the price of gold and silver will continue to rise, but I'm saying that the truth of what people used to call conspiracy theory is coming out. Check out my other videos, such as Financial 9/11 for the first 4 minutes of my second film. Again, 89 positive reviews, not a single objection after nearly 1,800 views. Check out What is ISIS, parts 1, 2, and 3. All the links to these videos are below the Show More button in the description below this video. There are groups of people out there who steer history, and one of those groups is the Rothschilds. And I think it's no coincidence that 30 years before the creation of Israel, you would have a letter to Lord Rothschild on behalf of the Jewish Zionist organization of the day, saying that His Majesty would look favorably on the creation of Israel in Palestine. But you can also say that's just a coincidence. Well, you can also say that nearly 30 years ago, in 1988, on the cover of The Economist magazine, a Rothschild publication, open up the cover, see who's on the board of directors. Yes, it's Rothschilds. Back in January 1988, they said, get ready for a world currency. And what do you see? You see a phoenix, not an eagle, a phoenix rising up from a burning pile of U.S. paper currency. And what is around that phoenix's neck? It would happen to be a gold coin. What is the date on that gold coin? It would be 2018. You see, history doesn't just happen. It is made to happen by people who have insane amounts of power. The truth eventually comes out, and you can see it happening. Now the Saudis are in a total panic because their involvement in 9/11, which of course nobody knew about in advance, is starting to come out. The Obama administration is actually blocking the release of 28 classified pages which clearly show the Saudis and the Israelis are involved in what everyone still insists is a completely surprise, out of the blue attack. Well, according to 2,500 architects and engineers, that fairy tale, that conspiracy theory is a complete lie. I'm going to close this video with a Bible passage. It's from Psalm 64, starting at verse 2. Hide me from the conspiracy of the wicked, from the plots of evildoers. They sharpen their tongues like swords and aim cruel words like deadly arrows. They shoot from ambush at the innocent. They shoot suddenly, without fear. They encourage each other in evil plans. They talk about hiding their snares. They say, who will see it? They plot injustice and say, we have devised a perfect plan. Surely the human mind and heart are cunning. So I've laid out even more evidence in favor of diversifying from monopoly money into real money. That is because every central bank in the world, with the exception of North Korea and Iran, is now part of the Rothschild international fiat monetary system, where money is whipped up as a computer entry out of thin air and is loaned to the governments of the world at interest. Only 5% of the money in the world is actual paper money. And that money is distributed to the banks of every nation, who in turn lend out other people's deposits to you when you need the currency at a ratio of 7 to 1 in Canada, typically 10 to 1 in America, and typically 18 to 24 to 1 in Europe. And you wonder why European banks are in such a mess. It's your choice. Either participate in the very system that seeks to enslave you, or diversify and become your own central bank. And you can watch my video, Gold and Silver 101. Click on the link below in order to help you get out of that system. That's it. My nose is back to the grindstone. More feature interviews are coming up as I work towards my second film, The Illusion of Money.